Right, so these are some little mini platters that I made yesterday. They're actually quite firm, made out of the white clay, and I used a really nice soft brush. See, this is a really kind of soft, has lots of spring to it brush to put 3 coats of underglaze. I went this way, I let it dry, I went this way, I let it dry, I went this way, I let it dry, and I'm looking for really closely for any brush strokes. I don't want to see any brush strokes. So at least 3 coats. And then this one I'd already pressed in, so I'm only going to do the flat part. I did 3 coats of red on this guy. Okay, so those are ready for me to do Sgraffito. So I printed off some Sgraffito designs from the internet, and I really like this kind of bear cup. You guys can see that okay? I love the ravens. I love ravens. There's some really cool like feather designs, and then this little really kind of cute red flowers. I think I'm going to freehand that. I found some of these that I liked with really simple designs on them. And I also found this design that I printed off the computer that I can transfer right onto the clay. Okay, so for the bear, I took this, which is the same size as that, and I cut out a piece of paper that was exactly the same size as my platter, so I traced it and cut it out. You with me? Okay. So then I drew my little bear. I know that's upside down for you guys. I drew my little bears on there. I sort of simplified it a little bit because I want the design to sort of be on the bottom and kind of go over those edges. So this is the design I'm going to transfer onto there. So there's 2 ways to do this. I can just set this beside and I can just start carving, or I can transfer this design on. So I'm going to transfer it. I'm going to do it this way so you can see. So I'm going to put that on top. There we go. I'm going to put that right on top, and with a pencil I'm going to press in to make a little dent in the clay, and it makes a little indentation in the clay that I can then follow. Can you guys see that? Yeah, so I've transferred my design to the little platter, and I can see it well enough that I can start to carve. So now what we're going to do is we're going to carve through on all of those lines using some of these carving tools. So this is my favorite carving tool. It has a little tiny, really tiny little loop of wire, and it cuts out the, the tiniest little line. If you have large areas that you want to scoop out, there's also large kind of tools with different shapes that you can kind of carve into. So I'm going to start with my small one, and I'll start with my little bear. And I'm just going to carve through. Revealing the white clay underneath. So the clay has to be soft enough that you can still carve it. It can't be bone dry, and it's sort of leather hard is what you want. And then I usually will just use a soft brush to brush those little comb bits away. And I'm just going to keep following my design. So I will continue with my trees, and I'll continue with my design until I am done, and then I'll press that so it's a bowl. Good? This guy here, I am going to just freehand it based on this design. So I'm just going to go for it. I am just going to start with a circle, and I'm going to make some lines like this.
Are you required to turn them into a bowl?
No, you are not required to turn them into a bowl. So a design like this, you can just sort of go for it. You can just freehand it, see where it goes. Right? Make sense? Okay, so 3 coats of underglaze, transfer a design on there, and away you go. Okay, so this one here is a nice circle. It's ready to be transferred. I just printed this off the internet, and I can make it bigger or smaller on the photocopier, so I make it the right size, so you can actually just use this instead of your drawing. You use it the same way I did my drawing and transfer a design onto your platter and do this Sgraffito. Okay? Sound good? Okay. I think that's